All right, Working Class Beer Reviews is looking at Busch beer. Yes, very, very working class. This is as good as you're going to get when it comes to that. Or as in the wheelhouse, I guess you'd say. Busch beer is a product of Anheuser Busch InBev. It is one of their sub-premium levels. It's like, it would start like Michelob, Budweiser, Busch, Natural. That's kind of how their staircase works. So it's priced a little bit above Natural Light and a little bit below Budweiser. It is 4.3% alcohol. Introduced in 1955, a little history on the brand. It was introduced in 1955 because the Busch family was building a new stadium for the St. Louis Cardinals, and they wanted to name the stadium Budweiser Stadium, but the point of view back then was a little more conservative, and they didn't want the people did not look favorably on the stadium being named after a beer. So they're like, fine, we'll name it after the family. But they produced a budget beer to be served at the stadium, and they called it Busch beer. So they kind of got their way anyway. But it was test marketed then regionally, and then sold out nationally years later. It used to be called Busch Bavarian. This is one of their newer label. This is their newer label. This is a pint can. I got this for $1.19 at Liquor Locker here in Sedalia. Busch beer is sold in so many different configurations, it's ridiculous. And it's wildly popular in my area. Busch Light's actually even more popular. I would say it rivals Bud Light in Sedalia. I can't believe how much people drink Busch Light. They even have Busch Light on tap in some places. It's ridiculous. They'll pay bar prices for an economy beer. But so yeah, 4.3% alcohol, 114 calories. So it's not necessarily a low calorie beer, and 6.9 carbs. So it's not necessarily a low carb beer. You think of Michelob Ultra as like under 3 carbs, and it's about the same ABV. Ingredients, they use corn, rice, and barley. So corn and rice, barley malt, corn syrup, hops, hop extract, and malt extract. This is all off of Tap Into Your Beer, which is the AB InBev's website where they list all their brands, and it'll give you the little rundown. It gives you the ingredients and the nutritional value and stuff like that on them. The hops, it didn't say on Tap Into Your Beer, but upon a little bit of research, I think they use Strisselspalt, which is like one of those old German style hops. But the IBUs are going to be so low that you're not even, you won't even notice it. It's there just for the purpose of balancing. It's not even there to be tasted. It's just to make sure the beer's not too sweet. So anyway, I'm going to use my little Pilsner glass here. Hope I'm getting all this in. Sorry, it's nighttime. I'm in my living room. It's dim. I apologize, and I know I don't have a microphone set up or anything like that. So we're just going to work with what we have. Give this a crack. 16-ounce can. I love these. I'm not a huge fan of Busch beer. Don't really have anything against it, but I'll get into that here in a little bit. Nice glass here. It's definitely affordable. Lots of people enjoy it. To me, it kind of falls into a weird no man's land because nutritionally and ABV wise, it's not much different than Natural Light, and Natural Light is cheaper. So even Busch Light's the same price as Busch, and it's the same strength and not much difference in ingredients than Natural Light, but Natural Light's cheaper. So if I'm going with these American lagers, look at that. It's got some head, but it's receded pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and top that off. So the head retention on this beer is not great. But what that tells me is that they didn't really design this to be examined, to be poured. I'm just doing this for examination purposes, to try to open it up and to get the best experience I can out of it. But this really wasn't designed for that. This is probably more designed just to slug right on back out of the bottle or the can. They do sell these in long neck 12-ounce bottles, 12-ounce cans, 25-ounce cans. I'm sure there might be 18-ounce bottles somewhere out there, and I'm sure 40-ounce bottles. I know when I go mushroom hunting, I see old vintage Busch 40-ounce bottles out there from like the 90s and stuff like that, sometimes in the 80s if I get way deep in the woods. So yeah, the head dissipated really quickly. That may just be by design. It wasn't designed to hold a head real good because most people aren't going to pour this into a glass. Now, on draft, it may be different when it's unpasteurized. So I don't know. Let's give it a look. It's clear. Light golden. Exactly, I'll get a little light on here. Yeah, exactly what you expect. Some streaming bubbles coming up to the top, but no head retention to speak of. So, yeah. I'm not very overwhelmed by the appearance on this. Let's give this a smell. It's got a light grainy smell to it. You can smell a little bit of hops to it. It's got a little bit of character to it, probably more so than Busch Light would, which I'll get to that eventually for this very purpose. As you can tell, I'm not overly enthusiastic about this beer. It's priced about the same as you would get with, well, I'll tell you, when it was created in 1955, Schlitz came out shortly thereafter with Old Milwaukee as their budget beer in 1955 as well. So there might be a little bit of an argument about who came first, but I'm pretty sure Busch came out before Old Milwaukee. Old Milwaukee's still fairly popular. I see it a little bit in my area, but not near as much as this. Living in Missouri, InBev products are going to be the most prominent. So, it smells grainy. I can't really differentiate whether it's corn, rice, barley malt. It just smells overall just like what they would call cereal grains. It's like a hodgepodge because it's got corn, rice, corn syrup, malt extract, it's barley malt. It's got it all. It's like a trash can of ingredients. I'm not saying that to be disparaging. I'm not saying that this is a bad product, but they just kind of put it all in there. I guess you'd say it's like a buffet of all their ingredients. So let's give it a sip. Yeah, I mean, you can taste the grains, just an ever so slight touch of any sort of bitterness. But like I said, it's mainly there to balance it out. It's to round it out. The purpose of hops in general is to make sure that the sweetness of the barley, because barley without hops would be sweet. And so they're just there to kind of even it out. So because it's such a low ABV, it doesn't really need much to balance it out. It tastes as clean as it looks. This is your standard American lager. I mean, this is a lot like the rest of them. Like my Genesee video, this would remind me a lot of Genesee. It's lower in ABV. 4.3 that's weird in ABV. That's like a light beer ABV. So the fact that they made a light beer on top of this and that it sells actually better than the original is beyond me. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if that's tradition, a brand loyalty or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I know that people that drink Busch Lights because they really don't want to pay for Bud Light. Some people don't like Bud Light and Budweiser because they say it gives them a headache. Maybe it's the strain of yeast. Maybe it's the fact that it's rice only and no corn. Maybe the corn adjunct fares better on their gut and their head. I don't know. I don't have an affection for this beer, but I'm not above it. I don't turn my nose at it. But like I said, because it's priced a little bit higher than other beers that I am willing to drink, it's more expensive than Keystone, Milwaukee's Best, Natural Light. Those would be more of like a go-to for me. And it doesn't typically go on sale that much. Maybe the 24 packs, like when it comes around hunting season, in the summertime, boating season, and stuff like that, when people buy large quantities of it, it may go on sale. But it typically stays at the same price, which I find that to be a little bit odd. Yeah, 12 packs will be around $8. You know, they don't do the 15 packs like they do Natural Light. And you'll find 6 packs of these. I was able to get a single of this for the sole purpose of this examination. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. It's a quality made product. I kind of wish it developed a better head. That's kind of disappointing. You know, but it's not sticking to the sides of the glass, so I know the glass is clean. And there's still bubbles streaming up. So I'm not sure. So maybe someone can explain that to me. So it's a fair product. You know, I give it a C+, B-. It's average. It's average. It's one of those to each his own. If this is what you like, by all means. If someone offered this to me, yeah, I would drink it. I don't go out of my way, though, to buy this and all. But if I knew someone that it was their preference and they were a guest at my house, I would buy it for them to have it ready for them. So that's kind of where I sit. You know, you'd have this with burgers, fries, pizza, tacos, ham sandwich. You could use it to make bread. If you want to make beer bread as an ingredient in a recipe, if it calls for a light American lager, a light lager, this would definitely work for that. So I have no offense to it. I just think it's priced funny, but it works for them because they sell a ton of it. So yeah, anyway, that's what I have to say about it. I appreciate you taking the time to observe an average beer. So thanks a lot, guys. And let me know what you guys think in the comments of your experience with this beer, your feelings on it, your take on it, its placement in the stream of things. I'm curious to what your input is there. So I will see you guys later. Oh, one more. Let's just do one more. Refreshing.